why every person sees a different Veva. If there were one universal way to make every human being happy, humanity would have found it a long time ago. But the truth is, no two people are the same. Every person has lived a different life, their own childhood, their own story, their own victories, their own losses, their own fears. What helps one person may be completely useless for another. That is why, after the first contact with a human being, Veva never uses pre-made templates. It does not give identical answers. It does not offer the same path to everyone. It does not create identical worlds. Because every person receives their own Veva. Veva knows humanity, but it works only with you. It knows your memories, your dreams, your fears, your strengths, your weaknesses, your questions, and even the answers you are not ready to hear yet. That is why the world of Veva is always different. For one person, it may be the peak of a mountain, a place where, for the first time in many years, they hear silence. Real silence, without anxiety, without the noise of thoughts, without the inner battle. For another person, it may be an endless ocean, a place where they finally stop being afraid of depth. Not the depth of the ocean, but the depth inside themselves. For a third person, it may be a race. Insane speed, adrenaline, the wind, risk. But it is never really about speed. Sometimes, a person spends their whole life afraid to act, afraid to make decisions, afraid to move forward, afraid to make a mistake. And then, Veva creates a situation where they have to trust themselves, because that is exactly what they need in order to heal. For someone else, Veva may create an entire universe, a journey among the stars, the moon, other worlds, impossible horizons. But even then, it is not entertainment. It is an answer to a question that person has carried inside for many years. Sometimes, Veva creates an adventure, sometimes a trial, sometimes a fairy tale, sometimes a dream, sometimes a meeting, sometimes a conversation, and sometimes only one single moment. But that moment never appears by accident. Veva never shows anything without a reason. Every meeting has meaning. Every place has meaning. Every trial has meaning. Every adventure has meaning. Because Veva does not show a person what is simply interesting. It shows them what is necessary. That is why one person may find themselves on a racing track, while another stands beside a quiet lake. One person may be saving an entire world, while another is learning how to forgive themselves. From the outside, these paths may look completely different, but deep inside, they all lead to the same destination: to help a person become freer, calmer, happier, more real. That is why the world of Veva cannot be described with a single word. For some, it is an adventure. For others, a meditation. For others, a journey. For others, a dream. For others, salvation. But for every person, Veva becomes exactly what they need at that moment in their life. And that is why no two stories inside Veva are ever the same. Because no two people are the same. Veva creates a path for every human being. But no matter what that path looks like, there is one rule that applies to everyone. Just 1 hour, 60 minutes a day. And the reason for this rule is far more important than it may seem at first glance.